On this episode, we talk about the different types of intellectual property. All right, this is episode 1 of the DBIP group video cast, and I'm on with Victoria Resnick, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day. The way we're going to do this show is it's going to be just a question and answer. So Victoria has a list of questions. If you guys ever have any questions, please email them to Victoria at victoria@dbip.com. The key thing to remember, of course, is none of this is legal advice, but hopefully it'll at least guide you and give you just some initial understandings of the various aspects around innovating, in particular, the law of innovation, which we largely refer to as intellectual property law. And Victoria, why don't you start off with our very first question?
Okay, so the first question I have for you is, what are the different types of IP rights?
That's a very, very good question. So generally, it's understood that there's 4 different types of intellectual property rights. So the first type of intellectual property right is trademark. The second is a patent right. Third, trade secret. And fourth is copyright. So these are the 4 types of intellectual property rights. So I can give just a little commentary on each one. So it's really important to understand that the intellectual property is intangible. Unlike real property, like a home or a vehicle, intellectual property, it's an intangible right. So these 4 types of intangible rights that I just listed out, those are the 4 groupings that most people generally have come to accept it as being what 4 different types of intellectual property are. So a patent right is a patent protects an invention, and it allows the patent holder to exclude others from practicing that particular invention. The second type of right is a trademark right. And a trademark right, you can think of it as a brand. And what it is, it's basically a source identifier. So, for example, a company that produces a good or a service, they'll attach that trademark to their good or service, so that when a consumer goes to purchase that good or service, they know who provided that good or that service. They know where it came from. So it protects, basically, it's a source identifier. And so it protects that. It protects the consumer. That's the main key thing. So it protects the consumer. So again, so a patent protects an invention. So companies will invest in developing their products, and for that R&D, for all that investment they put into developing a product, they will have the right to exclude others for a period of time. Now, when they go to market with that end product, they'll probably have a trademark on it, and that trademark protects their brand. So the third type of right that's different from a patent and a trademark is a trade secret. So a trade secret you can think of as having essentially as a secret sauce. So it's something that is never publicly disclosed. So a company has to maintain its confidentiality in order for it to be a valid trade secret. They have to take reasonable efforts to keep it secret, and it has to derive independent economic value by being secret. So it's the opposite of a patent, almost, if you think about it, because it has to be confidential. It has to be secret. That's the essence of a trade secret. The common example that everyone talks about is the recipe for Coca-Cola. Now, the cool thing about a trademark that's different from a patent is that it lasts forever. As long as you can keep it confidential, and as long as no one has figured it out, reverse engineered it, and made it public, then you can have the right indefinitely. And then the fourth common intellectual property right is copyright. And you can think of this, and so this protects creative works. So creative works that have been reduced to a tangible medium. So, for example, songs, it could be scripts, movie scripts, even source code can be protected under copyright. So, Victoria, those are the 4 high-level categories of intellectual property rights. So this is episode 1. We're going to do more of these, and send your questions. Thank you.